Today I want to talk about on-site faculty interviews and specifically the social events that are always going to be a part of such interviews. So first of all, congratulations on landing such an interview. This is an exciting time for you. You want to present yourself well and ideally get the job offer. Now, every faculty interview consists of the more formal components, about which I've already made some videos. They, for example, are your research seminar, they are your teaching lecture, and of course the interview with the search committee members. But every faculty interview also features several social outings. They can be dinners with faculty members or members of the search committee. They can be lunches, for example, pizza lunches with graduate students. They can be more informal break times for coffee, or they can be open receptions where all kinds of people from the department, faculty, staff, and students can participate. Depending on your field, there can also be tours of facilities, or there can be visits at field sites. Sometimes they can be with all the other candidates, like it is in Germany, which is unusual to some people if you haven't experienced that. Or they can be just with you, like it is, for example, in the US. So about these social outings, I want to first make a general comment and then give you 5 tips. So first of all, this general observation, and that is, make no mistake, even during these social outings that seem like they are much more relaxed, because they typically are, they're in a much more relaxed atmosphere, you are going to be observed all the time. And in several cases in which I have been involved, these more informal outings have been quite informative in terms of finding the right candidate for this position, in addition to considering the much more formal criteria like number of publications, grant income, teaching, and so on and so forth. You got to realize that these interviews, especially in certain countries like in Germany, they are very, very brief periods of time. And so these more social outings, they are really welcome opportunities to observe you as a person and to judge if you would be a good future colleague. And so you got to realize that your behavior during this time can be quite important and it can work for you or against you. And based on that, here are some 5 pieces of advice I'd like to share with you. The first one is you really never know what these things are going to be like. It's impossible to prepare for them. But therefore, what you should just be is yourself. Be your authentic self. Don't try to play a certain role because people will see right through that. Let the people interviewing you see the real you, because this is what I want to find out during the interview. Are you going to be a good person to work with? Are you going to be a good colleague? This is the main purpose of the interview. The second part is treat this as part of the interview, because it is. So be professional. For example, if somebody asks you something that you don't know, then take a note of that and maybe later on reply with an email once you have looked it up. Be friendly and be polite. For example, thank the host for the invitation for the dinner. Engage in friendly conversation with everybody. Be polite and be on time. Now, the third point, this is not just going to be informative for the people interviewing you, but this is also an opportunity for you to find out about the department. What kind of a place is this going to be? Is this going to be a nice place to work, for example? So show an interest in the department and ask questions. But make sure that the questions that you asked are in a positive spirit. Something like, what do you like best about this place? Or I heard you have this incredible seminar series, so how do you pull that off? Or you have this such and such piece of equipment, what are the conditions for accessing it? Don't try to find out what really sucks about the place. At this point, you can do that during the follow-up visit. You can ask more critical questions. Remember, the goal of the interview is to get the offer. Fourth point, avoid any topics that are too personal and that could be too political. If you are asked a question like that, then just make sure you make a nice turn in that conversation and continue on with something else. Steer clear of any negative topics or topics that could be too polarizing. Best strategy is to diffuse it and then move on to another topic. Now, some of these occasions, social events, will be during dinner. And during this time, often there will be alcohol. So if you do drink, make sure you stay within your limits. This is relaxed, but remember, this is still part of the interview. So be professional and then don't be too relaxed. When ordering food, I generally order stuff that I know will be relatively easy to eat and also not too messy. And I also never order the most expensive stuff typically, and also not the cheapest. And also be friendly to the wait staff. People do observe how you also interact with others. And that also includes being flexible when things go wrong, like when you get the wrong food or something. If possible, take it with humor. This is it. So all in all, these social events, they're going to be always there as part of the interview, and they're going to be substantially less predictable than the other things that are much more formal. Therefore, they're also substantially less in your control. And this may give you anxiety, especially if you're a more introverted type person. But all in all, I think it's good that you know what's coming your way. Be yourself. Try to have some fun. And remember, even though people low-key observe you all the time, they really just want to find out if you are going to be a good person to work with. So do enjoy yourself. In fact, enjoying yourself during these events in general is good. Don't panic. You got this. And with that, thanks very much for watching. Good luck with your interview visit. See you later.